What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the Box Click and more. About to break down some of this big NBA Christmas slate going on tomorrow. Merry Christmas to everybody out here. And I think it starts tomorrow at 12 with the Sixers at the Knicks. Sounds like Joel Embiid might be out. So I know Porzingis is playing. Tim Hardaway Jr. is out. And it's funny, the Raptors say they feel disrespected not getting Christmas games. I think DeMar DeRozan said it. And the sorry Knicks got a Christmas game just off the clout of New York. So, I mean, if I'm Toronto, I will be kind of mad because, they're a better team in the East than the Sixers and the Knicks. And obviously, they got a Christmas game. But obviously, the Knicks have Porzingis and the Sixers have abundance of talent that everybody wants to see and everybody needs to see in Embiid and Simmons. Fultz, is injured. He ain't played that much. So, with the up and down play from the Knicks, especially with no Tim Hardaway, potentially no Courtney Lee, I think the Sixers is going to have an easy time, with the Knicks tomorrow, with or without Embiid. I look to this to be a blowout, to be honest. I mean, I know special things happen on Christmas at the Garden or should happen at the Christmas at the MSG, but I don't see it. I think Ben Simmons, Covington put on the show. I'm not going to harp on that game too much, but the big game comes on at 3. I think that's on ABC too. It might be on, it's on ABC for sure. The Cleveland Cavs travel to the Golden State Warriors. What makes this matchup so interesting is the simple fact Steph Curry's not there. So that even makes the Kevin Durant, LeBron James matchup that marketable. That much people want to see it even more. And I don't think Isaiah Thomas is playing tomorrow. No, Steph Curry was running. He's ruled out tomorrow. And I think this is a golden opportunity for Kevin Durant to really steal the torch from LeBron once again. I mean, to me, he stole the torch and he's the best player in the NBA after the finals, after he torched LeBron. But everybody forget that, they want to say compare LeBron to Jordan. But, opponent shot in the NBA finals shot over 60% versus LeBron. And Kevin Durant torched him for game winners. He tortured him. But everybody turns a blind bat and says, well, LeBron doesn't have. And now KD might be without Draymond Green and without, without Steph Curry for sure. And it's a time for the rookie Jordan Bell to shine once again. It's time for Clay to shine. It's time for a lot of people to step up. Without Draymond and without, Steph is going to be a hard fought battle. I look for Durant to do something special tomorrow. I look for LeBron to be in a great frame, my frame, and he really thrives in situations to dominate on regular season games. So I get the nod to Cleveland to win tomorrow. They won last Christmas. It really don't mean much, but I get a nod to Cleveland to win. I say Cleveland win by 7. I say what? 107 to 100. Just throwing a number out here. Then after that, about 5:30. Before that game ends, it's Washington Wizards taking on the Boston Celtics, going over to the Boston. I don't know the name of Boston Arena. It used to be the Boston Garden. I think it's like the TD Jakes something, TD Bank Arena, some crap like that now. No disrespect to Boston, but I can't remember. I always remember the Boston Garden. But the Wizards, up and down. Sometimes Bradley Beal look like a star. John Wall dealing with health issues, man. It's a team I can't figure out. Gortat is one of the most inconsistent big men out there. Tough team, but they got a lot of good, long, willing defenders. I think, John Wall is one of the best, defending guards. I think Oubre is a good defending wing. Otto Porter is a great defending wing. I don't know what Washington is missing. I think they're really missing a big man. I really do. They're missing a big man. I think Gortat is a bench warmer. I think he's a bench guy to come off the bench. He shouldn't be your starting big man, especially when your other big man, Otto Porter playing the 4, one of the Morris brothers playing the 4, and Mike Scott. I think they need to get more physical inside and get a big guy that can get in his own bucket or at least be a rim defender. I look forward to seeing the Kyrie and John Wall head-to-head matchup myself. It's gonna come down to can Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, and Kelly Oubre get buckets tomorrow. That's what it's going to come down there to. I know Kyrie is going to get his buckets, with Tatum and Jaylen Brown step up, but it's always somebody that steps up for Boston. When they get Gordon Hayward back, they're gonna be dangerous. But it may be Smart, Rozier, Bangs, Al Horford. I trust Boston a little bit more. I give Boston the edge tomorrow. I said they win by 5. Like 90-85 or something like that. The first 3 games is terrific. I mean, you got stars like Ben Simmons is gonna play, LeBron and KD. That's gonna be the game everybody want to watch. And Washington Boston is not a bad follow up, which it technically will start in the middle with Cleveland and Golden State, but it's not a bad game to follow up with. I think that's on ESPN, and I think the fourth game is very, very special as well, with old teammates meet again with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. The first meeting for OKC versus Houston. It's in Oklahoma City. It's gonna be a good game. I look for guys like Paul George to have a good game, Russell Westbrook to have a good game, Steven Adams to have a good game. Melo talked about taking a reduced role and trying to fit in. I laugh and I see how that go. James Harden and the Rockets are shorthanded. They without Chris Paul, but I think that's not an issue. But Chris Paul and James Harden was working well together, and it looked like they was somewhat of a threat to Golden State to take them like 5 or 6 games. The way they was working, the camaraderie they was building. Mike D'Antoni showing that he could work some magic with them two, and I like the way they was flowing. But you look for guys like Eric Gordon to step back in the fold, who took a reduced role and numbers fell off since Chris Paul came back. I look for him to have a big game tomorrow. Not sure if Clint Capella gonna play. Nene, I guess he's formidable, serviceable. I look for a guy like Trevor Ariza to have a big game. If you play fantasy basketball, daily fantasy, I think he's one of the sleepers on the day, in my opinion. But it's gonna be a good game. Westbrook and Harden, we know they're not gonna guard each other. But I think James Harden's one of the most unstoppable offensive games in the league. And I favor Houston here, but I know Oklahoma City steps up in big games and play good, and then go back and play down to their competition. But I'm in favor of James Harden here to go to Oklahoma City and come away with a win. I think he's going to have maybe not as good as numbers as Westbrook does tomorrow, but I think he'll have the impact of his team winning. I think Eric Gordon gets off, and I think Trevor Ariza has a big game. And I think Houston is just an overall better team right now, going on the road and still in the way from Oklahoma City. I say Houston win by 3. I think it's going to be a close game. We'll have a lot of good close games, in my opinion, tomorrow. And that's why you get the best matchups on Christmas Day. The nightcap, is kind of diminished by injuries again. Lonzo Ball not playing. Brandon Ingram may not play. So it's going to be Kuzma, leading the charge with KCP with that tether on his ankle, leading the charge. Look for Julius Randle. Larry Nance to get a lot of minutes, in my opinion. Minnesota seems to be fully healthy. I look for Jeff Teague to really put on a good show. Jimmy Butler to look good. Karl Anthony Towns. I think this is the one game that has the opportunity to be an absolute blowout. Due to the injuries to the Los Angeles Lakers, to Lonzo, and potentially Brandon Ingram. It's gonna be difficult out there. You're gonna probably play a lot of Jordan Clarkson at the 1, and the other kid, the other guard they got, I can't remember his name, but he's pretty good. Josh Hart, that's his name. I think his name Hart. He's pretty good. I just think Minnesota's too good, and I think Minnesota should be better than what they is at this point. I think it's lack of coaching. I think it's I think it's some wrong personnel there as well. I think they should potentially think about moving some people, man. Maybe moving Shabazz Muhammad, Gorgie Jane, Andrew Wiggins, because he's not fitting. Him and Jimmy not fitting in well together. So one of them got to go. And kind of filling them in with glue parts. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I don't think Todd Tibbs is a good coach at all. I think he's solid. I think he had a flash in the pan in Chicago, because this team should be ahead of where they are, in my opinion, right now. Maybe just take some time, but I'm not liking the job he's doing with Minnesota. They behind the curve, in my opinion, but I look for them to smash the Los Angeles Lakers tomorrow. I look for them to win about 15 to 20 points. And if they don't win by that much, with all the injuries in the Los Angeles Lakers, they should make Tom Thibodeau and the whole team catch the Greyhound back home, forget the charter plane. But, great game of basketball tomorrow. Just reviewing it, getting y'all the lowdown. All the games showed from down, all the way from up top to down, is in order. And the NBA is cooking, man. And don't forget, you got NFL games on tomorrow. I think the Raiders play And the Steelers play the Houston Texans. The Raiders play Philadelphia Eagles. So it's a jam-packed sports day tomorrow. And, we about to make that stretch run in football. And it's like playoffs in December in basketball. Don't get no more better than this unless you in April, May, and June. So, to all my basketball fans, let's enjoy this tomorrow. Chop it up. We gone.